Good morning, students. Today I will teach you chapter 4 of chemistry, and the topic is atoms, molecules, and radicals. So, in this chapter, we will study about atoms and molecules, about radicals, and about periodic table and valency. So, in that first topic is our atom. As you know, matter is made up of small particles. We call it as molecules, which in turn are made up of atoms. So molecules are made up of atoms. Thus, atoms are the building blocks of matter. Atoms form molecules and often another kind of entity. We call it radicals. So now, first point, an atom is the smallest part of an element that take part in a chemical reaction. Second point, if we keep dividing a given mass of an element, we will finally get an individual part that has all the properties of the element. Third point, such an individual part is called an atom. It is the atoms that take part in a chemical reaction. That's why the properties of element depend upon the atoms constituting the element. Next is valency, the combining capacity of an element. So now question can be asked that what is valency? So you should know the definition. So first point, the combining capacity of an element with other element is known as its valency. The valency of an element is expressed as the number of hydrogen atoms that combine with one atom of the element. It is also given by the number of hydrogen atom that an atom of an element replace in a compound. One atom of chlorine combine with one atom of hydrogen to form one molecule of hydrogen chloride. So the valency of chlorine is 1. On the other hand, an atom of zinc displaces two atoms of hydrogen from an acid, so the valency of zinc is 2. Second point, elements with valencies 1, 2, 3 are said to be monovalent, divalent, trivalent, and so on. So it goes on going, like you can see the table is there. They have shown monovalent element, then divalent, then trivalent, and then tetra. Tetra means 4. So the elements which have one valency are hydrogen, chlorine, chlorine, bromine, and iodine. Now the element which are divalent. So oxygen, sulfur, magnesium, calcium, zinc. Now third is the trivalent elements. They are nitrogen, aluminium. The last is that the tetravalent, in that they have the elements are carbon and silicon. Now next is the molecules. A molecule is the smallest part of an element or a compound that can exist independently. Atoms usually do not exist independently and tend to combine among themselves to form molecules. When an atom of an element combines with another atom of the same element, a molecule of the element is formed. And when atoms of two or more elements combine among themselves, a molecule of a compound is formed. For example, we can say like two atoms of hydrogen combine with one atom of oxygen to form a molecule of water. So in for to form water, as you know, formula of water is H2O. So we have two atoms of hydrogen in that and one atom of oxygen. Then they will be able to form water. A molecule of water can exist independently. Now next is molecules are represented by formulae. The number of atoms contained in a molecule of an element or a compound is called its atomicity. A molecule of an element or a compound is represented by a formula. A formula directly gives the number of atoms of the same or different elements present in the molecule. Now next is formulae of element. A molecule of noble gases. So you can see their table is there 4.2. In that they have mentioned monoatomic, diatomic, triatomic, tetraatomic and octaatomic elements. So in this, the monoatomic elements are the noble gases. They have written names already: helium, neon, argon. So they contain only one atom of the element. Hence, the molecule of these atoms are represented as helium we call He, then neon we call Ne, argon we call Ar. These gases are said to be monoatomic. However, a molecule of hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, bromine contain two atoms of the element, and that's why they are called diatomic and are represented as H2, N2, O2, F2, Br2, and iodine I2. A common example of triatomic gas is that is the ozone, and we represent it by O3. So same is the remaining tetraatomic, and that is the phosphorus, and we represent it by P4. And then other is octaatomic, and that is sulfur, and we represent it as 8. So a molecule having an atomicity greater than 2 is called polyatomic molecule. Now next, formulae of compound. The formula of a compound found by two elements called a binary compound is obtained by transposing their valencies. So there you can see the figure 4.1. So the molecule is AB, where A is tetravalent and B is divalent. Suppose an element A has a valency Y and an element B has a valency X. Then the compound found between A and B will have the formula AX BY. You can see in the diagram, topmost in the diagram, A is given and top of A it is given by Y. Same like that, B is given and on top of that X. You can see arrow is there, X is arrow is A side and Y arrow is B side. So that's why they are now written AX BY. Now next, so these are the formulae of some common binary compound, like they are given the valencies of the element, then their formula, and after that then their name of the compound also. So first one is Na. Na valency is 1 and Cl valency also 1. The formula is NaCl, and the name of the compound sodium chloride. Second is Mg2Cl2. So the formula is MgCl2, and the compound name is magnesium chloride. Third now Al3Cl1. So formula is AlCl3, and the compound name is aluminium chloride. Next is Na valency 1 O valency 2. So formula is Na2O, and the compound name is sodium oxide. Next is Mg2O2. So the formula is MgO, and the name of the compound magnesium oxide. Next is Ca2O2, and the formula is CaO, and the compound name calcium oxide. Next is Zn2O2, and formula is ZnO, and the compound name zinc oxide. Then next Zn2S2, formula is ZnX. So compound name is zinc sulfide. Next is Mg2N3. So formula Mg3N2, and the compound name magnesium nitrate. Next last one Al3N3. So formula is ALN, and the name of the compound is aluminum nitrate. Now next is variable valency. Some element have variable valency. So they have given you the example of iron. Iron has a valency of 2 as in FeCl2, and 3 also, then it will be written as FeCl3. So to differentiate between them, FeCl2 is named as iron, then in bracket 2, then chloride, and in FeCl3 is named as iron, then in bracket in Roman number 3 you have to put in bracket and close the bracket, and after that chloride. So this method of naming a compound is adopted if it contains an element with variable valency. Some other names you can see here like copper. You can see that table 4.4, copper valency is 1 and 2. Iron 2 and 3, already we explained with this example. Then tin 2 and 4, lead 2 and 4. Thus, after knowing the valencies, we can write the formulae of the corresponding compound. Now next is formulae of the molecules of element. The valency of an atom can be satisfied by an atom of the same element also. For example, they are given valency of one hydrogen atom can be satisfied by the another hydrogen atom to form the molecules, that is H2. Molecules others are also like that, like Cl2, O2 and N2. They are found in a similar manner. You can see the diagram also there. The molecules which are diatomic elements like hydrogen, nitrogen and oxygen. We can easily understand why noble gases are monoatomic. In fact, a noble gas element is considered to have a zero valency, so an atom of it does not combine with another atom. Now next is radicals. Radicals are a kind of entity that can be an atom, with a charge on it, or a group of atoms behaving as a single atom with a charge on the group. Next point, radicals have a valency to and take part in a chemical reaction as single units. Now next is, this is the table, some common positive radical and some common negative radicals. So some in that monovalent also are there, divalent also and trivalent. So monovalent element of positive radical we will read. In that first is hydrogen, and if they use the form symbol also, that is H plus, because on mono means only one, so no need of writing one there, only alone H and with that plus sign. Other is sodium, that is Na plus, then potassium K plus, then copper Cu plus, then ammonium NH4 plus. Now divalent, in that it means two are there. So magnesium Mg2 plus, then calcium Ca2 plus, then zinc Zn2 plus, then copper Cu2 plus, then iron Fe2 plus. Then now next heading is trivalent. So in that aluminium Al3 plus, then iron Fe3 plus. Now table 4.6, some common negative radicals. So in that first one with monovalence we will read. So fluoride. So its formal symbol is F negative. Now instead of plus sign we will use minus sign and we call it as negative sign. Then chloride Cl negative. Then bromide Br negative. Then iodide I negative. Then hydroxide OH negative. Then nitrate NO3 negative. Hydrogen carbonate HCO negative. Then divalent oxide O2 negative. Then sulfide H2 negative. Peroxide O2 2 negative. Then carbonate CO3 2 negative. These are called the charges. So sulfate SO4 2 negative charge. Then post trivalent, in that phosphate PO4 3 negative charge. So these we call as negative, divalent and all trivalent. These are the charges on the elements. So they can be either positive or negative. So radicals are capable of independent exchange, but they generally form compounds. Compounds of this kind are found by the combination of oppositely charged radicals in such a manner that the charges are neutralized by each other. For example, one Ca2 positive radical will require only one CO3 2 negative radical to neutralize its charge to form the compound CaCO3, and the name of CaCO3 is calcium carbonate. Similarly, an Mg2 plus radical will require two OH radical to form MgOH का whole twice, that is magnesium hydroxide. The formulae of compounds containing radicals can also be written by transposing the valencies and dividing them by a common factor. Now next is 4.8 table you can see in that they have differentiated between atoms, molecules and radicals. So in that first the properties, first point of that independent exchange. So in that atom not capable, molecules capable, radicals capable. The second point charge, atoms are not charged, molecule also not charged, radicals are charged. Third is valency, atom have a valency, the molecule have no valency, radical has a valency. Number of constituent element, atom only one, molecules one or more than one, radical one or more than one. Then last point, how it takes part in a chemical reaction. So atom directly, molecules breaks into atom which take part in a reaction. Then radical take part in a reaction as a unit, that is remain intact in a chemical reaction. Now next is periodic table and valencies. So you may be knowing that elements are classified in the periodic table in according to their physical and chemical properties. The periodic table contains 18 columns and we call them as groups, and they have 7 rows and we call them as periods. Third point, elements with similar properties are placed in same group and those with different properties in different groups. Like example we can say sodium and potassium are similar and are placed in the same group 1, and nitrogen and phosphorus are placed in group 15. You can understand by seeing the table, periodic table. But the two set of elements are dissimilar and placed in different groups. Next slide. Valency is an important property of an element. It shows the behavior of an element in relation with other elements. Second point, there is a correlation between the valencies of an element with its position in the periodic table. So now this is the table 4.9, and in this these are the first 20 elements of the periodic table. You should learn their names, symbols and atomic number. Anything can be asked from this. So now first one atomic number, that is of hydrogen, and the name is, the symbol is H. The second atomic number 2 and its symbol is helium and name is, sorry, symbol is He and the name is helium. Then third symbol Li and name is lithium. Then fourth Be and the name is beryllium. Fifth symbol is B and the name is boron. Sixth symbol is C and the name is carbon. Then atomic number 7 symbol is N and the name is nitrogen. Then atomic number 8 symbol is O and the name is oxygen. Atomic number 9, symbol is F, and the name is fluorine. Atomic number 10, symbol is Ne, and the name is neon. Atomic number 11, symbol is Na, and the name is sodium. Atomic number 12, symbol is Mg, and the name is magnesium. 13, symbol is Al, and the name is aluminium. Atomic number 14, symbol is Si, and the name is silicon. Atomic number 15, symbol is P, and the name is phosphorus. Atomic number 16, symbol is S, and the name is sulfur. Atomic number 17, symbol is Cl, and the name is chlorine. Atomic number 18, and the symbol is Ar, and the name is argon. Atomic number 19, the symbol is K, and the name is potassium. Atomic number 20, and the symbol is Ca, and the name is calcium. Now next is the first 20 elements. The number at the top of each column is the number of the group. Second point, group 3 to 12 seems to be missing, but they are not. Third point, the number mentioned below the symbol of each element is the serial number of the element in the periodic table. So as you can see below the periodic table, the valencies increases from 1 to 4, and then the increases to 0. You can see arrow is there of group, and down you can see valencies arrow. So the element of group 1, 2, 13 and 14 have the valencies, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, and those of group 15, 16, 17 and 18, they have the valencies 3, 2, 1 and 0. So on this basis of valency, you can find the formulae of binary compound of the elements with hydrogen. So you can see the example also there, like Na, on top of that is written 1 and H. So there you can see the arrow. So the formula will be after that cross section NaH. Same is like Ca, on the top is 2 and H is 1. So if cross section then CaH2. Same is N3H1. So NH3. So this much only in this chapter. You should learn the periodic table, all the elements name properly. Thank you.